And there's a synergy of, well, I met this person, they talked about things that I liked, and then I was out the other day and met somebody else who was connected to this person, and then I read something that, oh my gosh, it's the same thing that we were talking about. That's not a coincidence. That's synergy going, hello, hello again, pay attention.
Did you push record?
Thank you so much for tuning into our second act with Paige and Silka.
For your second act of life.
Hello, Paige. I'm so happy to be talking to you again today because we are focused on a topic that, happiness, finding happiness, living with purpose and passion. We've done a lot of programming on that lately. And some of the questions that we get are, how do we know that we really are going after our purpose in this lifetime? And Paige, you have some definite input about about knowing if our greater self or our soul is actually knocking us on the head. Talk to me about that.
Okay, so I'll talk to you about that. So the first thing, we like to give some tips and suggestions so people can kind of jump in and go like, how do I know? What do I need to do? So, I came up with just 4 short ones to start to not overwhelm. So, there's a couple different ways. First of all, have you been inspired before? So I'll ask you that, Silka. Have you had flashes of inspiration?
Absolutely, to where you just feel like a burning desire. I want to do this, and then it kind of goes away, or you let it go away.
Right. So with your inspiration, it's like this sudden stimulation that happens in you. Like, you know what? Yeah, I'm really inspired to do this. I think I'd really like to do that. But like you said, so many people kind of put it back away and I don't know if I can do it. How do I go about doing it? Don't worry about how to go about doing it. If the inspirations are coming and if you continue to get the same theme of an inspiration, that's telling you something. That's giving you a story that your body's going, hello, I'm trying to inspire you. Are you going to pay attention? I've done it now 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times. So pay attention to your inspirations, the stimulations, the sudden flashes of those things that keep coming up over and over and over again. Make sense?
Well, absolutely. And we tend to knock those down. And so at this point in our lives, it's something that, we really should pay attention to find our purpose and passion.
And we've been around long enough to hopefully know the difference between what's coming from within and what's coming from without. And that's another important thing I talk about is what are the body's messages? And what I mean by that is, are you getting messages through the stress that you're having? Are you getting messages through a medical condition? Is your body telling you something? Like, are your feet, and it's so funny because I just had a client the other day talking to me about, I'm having a problem with my right foot. It kind of lags behind or I can't move forward. And I went, aha, moving forward. What are your feet trying to tell you? You're stuck. You're afraid to move forward. What's the fear about taking that next step that gives you purpose and passion, that gives you happiness? So, and this is a longer conversation and it's going to be in a course that we're going to offer as far as how do I get into my body? What does that mean? And how do I listen and know the difference of what it's telling me? So we just gave you a snippet with that, but stay tuned because when we get some more, when we get our courses up, they'll be able to learn how to do that more.
Well, it's so funny that you mentioned feet of all days today because my feet, my right foot in particular, has been bothering me today. And today I really focused on like what you're talking about with our course development we want to do. It's just uncanny. Anyway, let's go into the next point.
Okay, there you go. So the next one is synergistic, the synergy. What are the so-called random, which are not random, messages that you keep getting? And when I say that, there's a synergy in the universe, in the frequencies, in the vibration that you can and will be getting messages. They can come through the TV programs, movies, random people that really aren't random, people in the grocery store, through animals, through books that you read. And if you're starting to get, again, the same different kind of messages, and there's a synergy of, well, I met this person, they talked about things that I liked, and then I was out the other day and, met somebody else who was connected to this person, and then I read something that, oh my gosh, it's the same thing that we were talking about. That's not a coincidence. That's synergy going, hello, hello again, pay attention.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a synergy of what you're supposed to step into.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I just
Yeah.
a big example popped in my head when I was making the decision to go back to California, and I just yes, absolutely.
Well, do you want to share that about that decision?
Well, I mean,
What came up? What was the synergy for you?
well,
What were the
I
messages?
was thinking about, I had to make this big decision about whether or not I'm moving back to California after I got divorced. And to make a very long story short, I was driving, I was focused on it. All of a sudden, this car pulls out in front of me, which is my favorite. I love the old 450 Mercedes. One of these days, I'm going to have one. With a license plate on it, California Girl 222. 222 is my angel number. It's like I started crying.
And that's the synergy of it. That's the
It's like, are you
synergy of it.
kidding me? How can I get hit over the head? And I was asking to get hit over the head. So
And
yes,
you did.
these
And
messages
you
do
did.
come. Hmm.
Yes, it's the synergy of it. And then lastly, you know, the longing desire. And I don't know if anybody out there has ever heard of Rumi, but if you've not heard of Rumi, look Rumi up, Rumi. And Rumi has a wonderful, many, many different sayings. And I have one of his sayings right here. And one of his sayings is this: everyone has been made for some particular work, and the desire for that work has been put in every heart. So that's that longing desire. And I take it a step further that it's in your heart in your human form, but long before you became in human form, it's in your soul form. So, what's that longing desire? And especially after 50, we kind of go, I chose this work to do before 50 and I did this, but now that I'm after 50, I've got this longing desire that I didn't pay attention to, or I said, not yet, not yet, not yet. Well, why wait? We're over 50 now. So, it's that longing desire that keeps knocking on your door, too, saying, come on, jump in. Jump in. I've been waiting for you, waiting for you. So these are just four little tidbits to help you kind of go, how do I know my purpose and passion, and how am I paying attention to myself? Just to kind of little guidance, help,
Well,
support.
and maybe, when you hear this or when you hear us talk about it, it might cue something, in
Yeah.
your talking to our viewers now in your mind is that, oh my gosh, maybe I am supposed to do this. And I believe, and I'm going to ask for your opinion, that when you do get that and there's fear that comes along with whatever it may entail to follow your passion, but I believe that you're going to be supported.
Always, you are, and Silka, you know me, I read about this in my book too. We are always supported from so much from beyond this earthly realm. We always have support, not just from this realm, but the people show up when you are on your purpose and passion, when you are on your path and you decide, hey, I am a little nervous. How am I going to do this? I'm afraid. That's okay. You can still be afraid and walk through the fear while you're getting all these messages and moving forward.
Right. And obviously, we're not saying it's easy or go out and clean out your bank account or anything like that. But yeah, listen to it and keep that faith. And one of the things I want to, of course, keep doing, Paige, for us, for our viewers, is to continue to bring this message of, well, hope and faith. Believe in yourself, because it is sometimes difficult as we age. And on
Yeah.
that note, let me ask you our closing question. What would you leave our viewers with?
Oh, I love how Silka does this. So I would leave all of you with this. Your heart has a longing desire, but even stronger than your heart is your soul and your spirit. You're here for a reason, and there's always messages. Don't be afraid to follow them, to hear them, to watch them, to see them, to listen to them. And sometimes you might just need to jump right in and go, you know what? I'm going to jump right in. And one more myth that I want to talk about briefly that I think is important is in our age group, we always hear, well, if I was 20, I would have done that. Well, at 30, I would have done that. Well, okay, at 40, well, hello, what is the difference? The difference is society says you got to play it safe after 50 because there's the finances and who's going to take care of you and what's going to be out there. I say bullshit. Right now, we've got to change that story of who cares what age you are. If you are meant to do something, if it is in your soul and longing desire in your heart, then you are meant to do it and you will be supported. And that's my closing message.
And I agree. I couldn't agree with you more, Paige. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time on Our Second Act with Paige and Silka.
For your second act of life.
Bye-bye. Glad you were able to join us today. For more information about living your life to the fullest after 50, please visit our website, secondact.tv. And if you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Button's right over here. See you next time.